Imagine one day you woke up with the ability to phase through solid matter just like Danny Phantom can do in the cartoons. Although most people would be ecstatic about the idea of having a superpower, this specific power, from a philosophical point of view, would actually really suck, and let me tell you why. For argument's sake, let's assume that you were not born with the ability to phase through solid objects. This ability only takes place when you walk into your first day of Intro to Philosophy class, and once the ability is turned on, it cannot be turned off, per se. From the 5th century, there exists a philosophical view known as atomism, which describes that everything in the universe is either atoms, which make up solid matter, or an empty void, which is the space in between atoms. Now, given this point of view, the moment the ability takes effect, you would have to be completely void in order to phase through solid objects. And because you phase through solid objects, and forces such as gravity don't affect massless void, you would end up floating through space, unable to control your movements and unable to slow down. I don't know about you, but that does not sound fun to me. Also, if you are completely void, that means entities such as your brain and your heart are also going to be void. If your heart's not able to pump blood and your brain's not able to process electrical signals, you can imagine that would have some deadly consequences. Dying's not fun either. Aristotle discusses this idea of eudaimonia, or flourishing, which describes the idea that rational beings like humans should not only survive, but they should have the goal of living well. If you're floating through space uncontrollably, you don't have the ability to gain new experiences, gain new knowledge, or truly live your life to the fullest. So having the ability to phase through solid objects would really be unfortunate. Now, some argue that you don't have to be completely void in order to phase through solid objects. You could have your atoms rearranged so that they could flow through one another. But by definition of the superpower, you still would not be able to interact with other atoms. The power isn't the ability to squeeze through or graze solid objects. The power is the ability to phase through completely. So this argument remains invalid. Now, you may not die if some of your atoms are still there, but you still can't exhibit eudaimonia or truly be able to flourish or live your life to the fullest in this state. Now, if you don't know me, I'm a skydiver, and so clearly I think falling at uncontrollable speeds is fun, right? Well, not exactly. I like the sport because I'm able to control my body in the air. I know that there's a certain amount of time that I will free fall for, and I get the rush of adrenaline from jumping out of the plane. None of these aspects are applicable to our superpower scenario. Therefore, this example doesn't help the counter-argument. My view on this ability still stands, but let me know what you think.